Do you know how massive the fish oil industry has become? According to Grand View Research, the global omega-3 supplement market was worth around 7 billion US dollars in 2024, and it's projected to hit nearly 12 billion by 2030. That's a growth rate of about 7.5% every year. To put that in perspective, that's more money spent on fish oil capsules than many people spend on gym memberships. Crazy, right? But here is the real question: why are people buying omega 3 supplements like never before? Right now, about 3 out of 4 omega 3 sales comes from over the counter supplements, while prescription omega 3s makes up the only 25 to 30% share. To understand why demand is exploding, we need to look at balance, the balance between omega 6 and omega 3. Both are essential fatty acids. Your body needs them for growth, repair, and energy. But here is the issue: our modern diet is overloaded with omega 6. We found in vegetable oils, fried foods, and most of the snacks, while omega 3 is much harder to get. Well, there is no exact ratio established, but experts often suggest a healthy ratio of about 4 is to 1. But most of us today, we are closer to 20 is to 1 or even worse. That imbalance fuels chronic inflammation, raising the risk of heart diseases, diabetes, arthritis, and even some cancer. And that's why omega 3s are suddenly in the spotlight. So we spend money on supplements for our good health. But are we sure what they are actually doing inside the human body? Let's find out what research from the National Institute of Health (NIH) and NCCIH has to say about your omega 3s and their supplements. So omega 3s comes in three main forms: ALA, EPA, and DHA. ALA, it is the plant-based omega 3. It supports basic cell structure and function. EPA is the inflammation fighter and heart helper. DHA is the brain and vision powerhouse. All three are very important, but here is the catch. ALA is essential because our body can't make it, only plants can. That's why they are essential, and your body can convert ALA into EPA and DHA, but the process is very poor. We get less than 15% of it in the whole process. That's why, as per Institute of Medicine, the advocate intake for ALA is 1.6 grams per day for men and 1.1 grams for women. Now, for EPA and DHA, they do not have an advocate intake because our body can make small amounts from ALA, and there isn't enough evidence to define a specific daily requirement, but still, they are very, very important for normal functioning of the body. Now let's understand the benefits of omega 3s given. There is a lot of valuable information in the research, but I have simplified it into the key takeaways for everyone to understand better. Before we go on, I want to make one thing very clear. While studies show omega 3s are very beneficial, getting them from real food is almost always better than relying on supplements. Research shows that supplement results can be inconsistent. For many health outcomes, there just isn't enough strong evidence to fully support using omega 3 supplements the way we assume. So, yes, supplements can help in certain cases, but food-based sources are still the gold standard. So first one is heart health. People with heart diseases or high triglycerides may benefit from omega-3 supplement. Studies show 1 gram per day of EPA plus DHA can slightly reduce the risk of heart attacks and coronary death. High dose omega-3s may help lower triglycerides by about 15%. But evidence for stroke prevention is limited. Benefits may appear only at higher doses. And it says omega 3s from fish are generally the safest way to support your heart health. Now, the second one, brain and cognitive function, this is my favorite because This says that the omega-3s in the form of DHA makes up over 30% of the fat in your brain. Populations with higher fish consumption often shown better memory and cognitive performance. The third one is eye health. DHA is a major part of the retina. Low levels are actually linked to vision problems. So, getting enough omega 3s in the form of DHA helps maintain healthy vision. The fourth one is inflammation and immunity. Regular omega 3 intake can ease joint stiffness and lowers inflammation markers. That's why it's helpful for conditions like arthritis and cancer. Let's talk about the most confusing part: sources of omega 3. For ALA, it's easy to get. From flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, they are your best sources. So, if you have a non vegetarian diet, getting EPA and DHA is actually much easier. The richest sources are fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, and oysters. The dietary guidelines for Americans 2020 to 2025 recommended eating at least 8 ounces of seafood per week, ideally 2 servings of fatty fish. If you do that, you are mostly covered for your EPA and DHA needs. On the screen, you will see a table from this research paper listing sources of ALA, EPA, and DHA individually. According to it, vegetarian sources for EPA and DHA are basically none. So, for vegetarians and vegans like me, the best options for EPA and DHA is algal oil supplements. Yes, research results on supplements can vary, but since we don't really get any EPA and DHA from food source, taking vegan supplements is still the smartest way to avoid deficiencies. I always check with my doctor for right dose, and you should as well, because self-prescribing isn't safe. Let's talk about safety with omega-3s. From food, omega-3s are safe. Just make sure the fish you are having is from certified sources and free from heavy metals like mercury. It's only the supplements that has side effects. Mostly very mild, things like fishy burps, bad breath, or upset stomach. So, with doses up to 5 grams a day is considered safe by FDA and EFSA. More than that may cause blood thinning and weak immune function. At this point, it's clear. Research shows food-based omega-3s work better than supplements. So why spend so much money on capsules if you can simply eat fish? Of course, it makes sense if you are taking them because of pregnancy, a restricted diet, or certain medical conditions. But what's surprising is that about 75% of you still take capsules without any medical advice. That's risky. So, before you spend tons of money on supplements, get your blood levels checked, talk to your doctor, and figure out what's right for you. Omega 3s are powerful nutrients, but they are not magic pills. Keep your health and your finances in balance. Don't follow the trend, follow the science, and maybe use that money on a gym membership instead. Please remember, this is a research based content, not a medical advice. Talk to a medical professional for a personalized guidance. Now, if you prefer facts over hype that makes life simpler, consider subscribing. Your support helps me dive deeper into studies, and I'll see you again with new research.